Burden's most exciting hour of the whole of Microbiz Matters Day, because I've got with me her hero, which is Mr. Charlie Mullins, the most successful plumber in Britain. In fact, the most successful building tradesperson whose this hour is with me today. So we feel very honoured, and we know from all the Twitter activity that it's going absolutely ballistic out there. So we know there's lots of people watching, so it's absolutely great. I'm going to start off by asking Charlie really what gave him the impetus. A lot of people know his story, and I mean, he's still incredibly ambitious. I read somewhere, I think maybe on your website, that you want to create a £100 million business rather than a £20 million business.
That's right. Yeah. Why not? Why not? You know what I mean?
What drives you, this ambition though, to keep moving on everything you do?
I think the way to having a good life and being successful is to work and to build a business up. And you know, I'm a great believer that the way forward is to employ people, and the more people you employ, I believe the bigger your business can become and more successful. And you know, we know money ain't everything, but it certainly you know, gives you a good life. As Michael Caine says, he's been poor and he's been rich, and he knows which one he prefers. Don't ask me which one I prefer.
Fantastic. And sort of, did you know, because you always wanted to be a plumber, but did you start trying to build a business with employees right from the beginning?
Yeah, pretty much so. I mean, I sort of left school at 15, and I always say it was a big mistake. No education, or very little education, no qualifications, and yeah, I should have left at 14, you know what I mean? Because, you know, I knew I was going to be a plumber, I knew the way forward, and, you know, I used to bunk off school and help this local plumber when I was about 9 years of age, and he said to me, you know, if you do an apprenticeship and you do plumbing, you'll earn loads of money, you'll have a job for life. And I mean, he's right on one of them. I'm still working, you know. Yeah. So that's all I ever wanted to be, was a plumber. I'd done an apprenticeship, finished that at 19, and immediately become self-employed, and immediately started building up a customer base. And you know, there's a few of them still with us today. I mean, not many of them. Most of them are brown bread, but you know, a few of them are still with us, which is wonderful. And we have a policy. I just want to add this little bit in there. Yeah. At Pimlico, you know, we hope that once someone uses Pimlico, you become a Pimlico customer for life. And I don't think it's a bad way to look at any business. I think it's great. I've learned over the years in business that you need to retain your customers, and they'll get you through recessions, tough times, yeah, and hopefully make you have a successful business. So just a little thing to slip in there: retain customers, work on that basis from day one. And yeah, it's certainly, you know, we do a couple of thousand jobs a week, and something like 75% of people have used us before, and that's what's got us through this recession. We've sailed through it.
So interesting. How do you get to the point when you've got employees doing all the plumbing rather than you doing the plumbing? Because we had lots of micro business owners on today, food and drink, all these kind of fantastic things. Like Tina and I have got our individual micro business owners that a bit like all the work you do for charity. We put the money that we earn from our business into this Enterprise Rockers thing.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
So various things. But one of the things that we do is, because we've got really micro businesses, is that the majority of the work that we do in our businesses we do ourselves. But you've got to have lots of other people doing the work. So how do you make sure that they give all of these customers? Because I agree with you, it's the customer loyalty that keeps you in business, isn't it? So how do you make sure that all your plumbers, you know, all your employees are actually doing it right?
It's not difficult. It's a simple word. It's called delegate. And it took me many years to get my head around it, because as small business owners, we all think we can do everything. You know, I thought I could do accounts, recruitment, plumbing, estimating. And then I realised you can't do it all, and I learned to delegate, and it's an important word in business. There's some great workers out there. There's some great people. Not everyone wants to be a leader, and you get these people on, you put them in the position that they're good at, and that's what I've done with Pimlico. We have 260 people on board, and I have a manager for everything. I have a manager in HR, in recruitment, in call centre, in estimating, in mechanics, in quality control. Even in our canteen, I have a canteen manager. I've learned that, you know, if you set up a department, put someone in charge of it, and once you learn to have confidence and trust in them, and there's some great workers out there, and you know, nobody can build up a business, certainly the size of Pimlico, or any good business, without the help of others.
Yeah.
So, important word is delegate.
Okay. Yeah. Great. Tina, you've got real experience, if you like, of your brother building quite a big business as well, out of building trades, haven't you, as well?
Yeah,
What do you think about this? You know, people. A question for Charlie, really. I mean, what do you think about this kind of area? About, we often talk about, you know, growing your business, but if you have got something like in the building trades, the only way to grow it is probably, as Charlie says, through employees, isn't it?
I think it is, and I think, as Charlie's already said, I mean, I've got a lot of experience in the sort of construction sector. I mean, including myself, I've been involved in that area of work as well in a few years ago. So, and I'm back in it again with my husband, with his property services business, and with my youngest son, my eldest son, sorry, who's a plumber, and he served his apprenticeship through my father-in-law and brother-in-law's business. So, you know, for me, I have a lot of passion for the building trade.
Can you hear that?
Oh no!
We didn't stage it just to shut you up. Have we got to go out? Oh, so we're just going to shout, Tina. Just shout. You're good at that.
Okay. Okay. Right. Okay. So we've got a fire alarm going on. Facilities management. But I think growing and the respect, and I think I wholeheartedly agree with Charlie, because I don't think it matters whether you're a one-man band and you don't want to grow, or you work with associates, or however you do it. It is that trust, and it is that trust in the other people that you work with as well, and actually delegating. And I think not everybody's good at that, and I think sometimes that people that are in, especially the building trade and construction side of things, aren't always very good at it, because they want, as males often want to dominate and want to be in control of everything. So I think to know, I live in a house full of men, I'm entitled, you know, Tony, only too well, but I think that what Charlie's done is absolutely fantastic, and it's that giving people ownership, because what you say is right. Not everybody wants to be a leader. Not everybody wants to run their own business. You know, there is discussion about there's a business in everybody, but as we've often discussed, Tony, there isn't, because not everybody wants that. But they're great workers and they make a great workforce.
Yeah, great. So what about, you know, you've got this passion for apprenticeships, haven't you, and you're probably doing as much. What do you think about, I don't want to get political or anything, but what do you think about the fact that one of the things Microbiz Matters Day is doing, it's showing what real people do.
Yeah.
You know, it's not mythical stuff.
Yeah,
you know, we're plumbers, we're electricians, you know, we've got cafes, we're doing cake. You know, the real jobs and various things, and real pieces of work people are doing. So what do you think about kind of, if you look at where the money goes on apprenticeships, you don't get, and small business,
that's right,
get a small amount of the money,
right.
Really, and yet your business has got some of the best jobs going, really, hasn't it, for the future?
Well, that's right. My own take is I think the government are very much switched on now with apprentices. I mean, I think they've made 3 million more places available, and we've already, I think they've filled up 1.8 million places. You can tell I've done my research.
Yeah.
Wow. And I think they're very switched on. They're giving businesses more and more incentives to take on apprentices, and I've been working with the government to try and get a fully funded apprenticeship scheme going. I believe that will happen at some stage. And like in Germany, you leave school, you either go to university, you've got a job, or they put you on a fully funded apprenticeship. And that's what we need to do here. My take is, first of all, it is solve youth unemployment. Second thing is it fill the skill shortage. And the third thing is, you know, apprentices are an asset to a business. They're great value for money, and I don't mean cheap labour. And of course, you teach them to work the way you want them to work, and in 3 years' time, everyone's a winner. You've got a skilled worker, you've got someone that's paying tax, you've got someone that's now in a job, and they're working the way that you want them. It's the way forward. If I don't take on apprentices, there's no Pimlico Plumbers when I'm brown bread.
Yeah.
So, you know, we have about 35 apprentices on board. Two of them are my grandsons, which are, I think I'm very grateful
brilliant.
that they work with us. One's a heating guy and one's on the plumbing. And I just think it's unfair that all the other youngsters haven't got that opportunity. So I'm working close. I mean, I'm not name dropping here, but I'm often at Dave's house,
Yeah.
Dan. So no, I am, right?
Yeah.
And George and all of them, and Boris. And every time I go there, I talk apprentices. They are listening. They are working on it. And if I was a betting man, which I am, I will bet that at some stage we get that, and it solves so many problems. And of course, you know, it gives youngsters a future. It gives them part of society, something to look forward to. And as you said, they haven't necessarily got to run their own business, be part of a business, because rightly, as Tina said, you know, not everybody wants to do that. And, you know, there's some great workers out there, you know, just to be part of something. And I believe apprenticeships are going to give them that opportunity. Yeah,
great. And yes, Tina, you were going to say something there?
No, I was just going to say, I think the other thing, even in with Tom and my brother-in-law, the one thing that they discovered when Tom was doing his apprenticeship, that actually if you are a micro business, and you've got an apprentice in that business, they're actually bringing new fresh ideas and thinking, because you're not always renewing. I mean, I think when you've got that bigger business, you get to a stage where you are maybe doing more on-site training and everything else, but if there's only 5 men in the business and you've got, you know, busy, lots of people, all those people coming back, but this is a way of getting some new ideas, some fresh thinking into that business that then starts to bring new ideas and moves your business forward as well.
Yeah. Can I just jump in there, Tina? Exactly what you said is great, because they bring a lot of enthusiasm to the workplace. You know, and let's not kid anybody. You know, you have a few youngsters in the workplace, and it livens it up, and they've got different ideas, and it's great to see them learning. So what you said there is totally right. You know, they've got a lot to offer, and you know, all the youngsters I speak to, you know, they want to go to work, they want to learn, and you know, that's the way forward. So exactly right, spot on you are with that one. Yeah, great.
One of the other things that we're doing, because we're really in favour of, as you can tell, we're really in favour of what you're doing on that. I just don't want to see HSBC and other people on the apprenticeships list. Do you know what I mean? Because I actually think that what we should be doing, I think there are a lot of government training that goes on. And this isn't a criticism of this government. This is just
it
goes back years and years and years. Yeah,
a waste of time.
Absolutely.
You're right.
So the more power to your elbow. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I think what they're doing at the moment, they've got too many schemes. They're diluting it. You know what I mean? And anything you dilute ain't the real deal.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm telling you now that the amount of involvement that I'm having with them at the moment, and every few months they give a bit more incentive to take on an apprentice, and I actually think if they play that card. On the run-up to the election, first of all, well, I think it's a vote winner, and it's a tremendous way forward for the country. You know what I mean? We get 300 apprentices. We get 300 applicants per month want an apprenticeship. 300 a month. You know what I mean? You know, to be an apprentice now is very fashionable. It's very trendy, and rightly, you know, if you know, I was a small business now, and I had. When I was a small business or 0 to 9, you know, yes, we had an apprentice on board straight away, you know, because they bring a lot to the workplace. They're good value for money, and it's wonderful to teach somebody knowing that, you know, that's, you know,
brilliant.
Because we was given that help, and I believe it's important to pass it on.
Yeah,
you know, I have to say, top 10 things in my lifetime. One is definitely becoming an apprentice. You know what I mean? Undoubtedly.
I agree.
You know?
Fantastic.
So how many apprentices, sorry, can I just ask, how many apprentices that you train up, Charlie, think that they can become the next Charlie Mullins?
Say that again, Tina.
How many apprentices that you train up want to leave and become the next Charlie Mullins?
Yeah, say that again. I got you, of course. That's wonderful. As I say, you know, if I inspire people and into getting a trade or an apprenticeship, then that's the way forward. And you know, that's what I do. You know, I mean, I sort of work very closely with youngsters, and you know, it's not all. I'm not just saying, look at me, how clever I am, and trying to give something back to society. But I know how important it was to me. And this guy, this plumber, local plumber, he said to me, there's 2 roads. This road, I don't know where it's going to lead to, but if you go on an apprenticeship, you'll earn loads of money and a job for life. And people only need a little bit of direction. And I think that if people can see how successful you can be without brains, without a degree, just hard work and common sense, then I think it's going to inspire a lot of people. And you know, what was said to me 40, 50 years ago about apprenticeships, to, you know, you'll have a job for life and earn lots of money, I now say that to my apprentices. And you know, I don't want to use the word I can guarantee that, but you know, you can take an apprenticeship anywhere in the world. People will employ you. We only employ anybody that's done a full proper apprenticeship. And you know, I honestly believe that the government will implement it, and they should put me behind it, running it, because I mean, they had that, I won't knock him, but that arsehole Sugar doing it right before for Labour.
Good job you're not going to knock him.
Well, he ain't got a clue. You know what I mean? He hasn't got a clue about apprentices. He hasn't been one. And, you know, it sounds like I'm knocking the programme, which I am, and it sends out the wrong message to the workplace. You know, it's got nothing to do with apprenticeships, and it makes life very hard for people like, or businesses, because you're trying to explain to people, you know, you don't get £250,000, and it ain't like, you know, running around London trying to please some lord. You know, it's a real deal. But anyhow, apprenticeships are the way.
But I think that's one of the things that we talk about at Enterprise Rockers, because we talk about, if you want a mentor or a business mentor, get somebody that's been there and done it. And I think the slight issue that we have is that there are so many people out there.
Bank manager teaching you how to run a cafe.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, I'm third generation self-employed, for goodness sake. I've run my own business since I was 21. So, as I'm not 30 today, that's over 25 years. And you know, it's.
You don't look it there, Tina.
Yeah, thank you, creep. But it's actually important to get that advice from people that have been there. And the other thing I will say about apprenticeships is that they need to become trendy, because there are far more young people out there who should be doing them than going to university. And actually they need to understand that they have got great gifts to offer to empower them. And this is another area that I'm absolutely passionate about, community and giving back and everything. So yeah.
Okay. And the other thing, you know, we think you've done fantastic things, but I thought that little Chloe stuff that you did all the way up to Christmas, absolutely fantastic.
We're still doing it, actually.
Yeah,
It's up until, we've done we helped out. We have a local girl, Chloe, from Pimlico, and we was approached. You know, she's got cancer and she needs life-saving treatment in America, and I believe on January the 10th, you know, we needed to raise 100 grand, or she needed to raise 100 grand. So they asked us to get involved, and we joined it about 4 weeks ago, and they was at £18,000. We're now up to about 126 grand. We're told that the more we can get, the better it is, because she's got ongoing treatment. And it's been fantastic. We put a poster on our vans. We've got our customers been donating. We've had taxi drivers coming up to the vans. We've had the general public. We've had customers sending money in, coming into the office. And this is not us. There's been lots of local schools have been, or schools all over the place, been raising money. People making cakes. People doing charity things to get money. And you know, it just goes to show what you can't do alone, you can do together. And it's gonna. I think we switch off on about Monday or something. And we was donating £1 a job. £1 a job for every job we do, and you know, right, as I said, we do 1,500 to 2,000 a week, and we've done that in the last 4 or 5 weeks, and we'll continue that this week, and hopefully there'll be another couple of grand next week. So you know, it just goes to show that, you know, just getting together and believing and wanting to help somebody are tremendous. And you know, we met Chloe. She came over to our shop. We've just opened a plumbing shop, and she came there on the opening, and you know, we had a little auction and raised a few more quid for her. But you know, it's just, I'm just sort of probably trying to say is that, you know, if by putting something back into society, you know, it helps people, and it makes you feel good, and what goes around comes around. You know what I mean?
See, that's one of the things about today, Charlie, is that everybody's giving up 9 minutes, if you like. They're giving a little bit of time to help somebody else. And one of the things Tina and I, when we founded the Rockers, thought was one of the things that we need to show people, especially people that have never worked for themselves, is that we do more for communities than the big corporates with their corporate social responsibility schemes and various things. And because it's in our communities, our repeat business, isn't it?
Of course it is. I mean, what you said there, and I don't want to come across as keep knocking everyone, but some of the big organisations, they lose touch with reality, and the value of a small business, you can keep it nice and personal, you can stay involved with the community, and it doesn't matter how small you do, because by helping them people, they're going to use you as a customer if and when they can. So I think it's important just to keep things on a level, and if you're going to be successful in a business, then you're going to get there anyhow. It's not a short term, that.
No, that's right. Yeah.
I mean, Pimlico have been going 35 years, and we nearly went bust in 1990 with the last recession because we never had it right. We changed a lot of things and become, more realising how important customers are to you and improving the quality of the service. So it's a long haul, I mean, if you come to the front too quick, I don't think you're going to stay there. No. And then when you do get there after a long time, okay, the hard thing is now staying at the front. But, a lot of people copy Pimlico and a lot of people use their ideas, and, I'm sure we use some of their ideas. So I think it's important that people can sort of, work from your ideas. And I remember years ago, we always learn from someone that's older and more experienced. And I suppose I'm older now, more experienced.
I'm gonna ask Charlie one last question. Give you time to think of yours, Tina. But my last question is, what would you say to everybody out there? There literally are hundreds of thousands of people have got involved in this kind of thing. They're all running micro business owners. What's your advice to keep the level of energy that you've still got after 35 years, if you like, in the business? What keeps you going? Because we founded this up to help each other keep going, really.
Okay, it can be many things, right? And if one of them happens to be money, then there's nothing wrong with that. Do you know what I mean? I know it's not all about money, but it does make so certainly, you can become very successful and have a very nice lifestyle if you become a profitable business. So money, I think, is a great incentive. The second thing is, I think that to run your own business is a great achievement for anybody. I think it's a great value. It's lovely, And I mean, I only ever wanted to be a plumber, but I always wanted to work for myself because I couldn't stand people telling me what to do.
I mean, we're here with that.
Well, you guys know. So it's lovely to be your own boss. I mean, let's not kid anyone. Unfortunately, you get up earlier and you go to bed later by being your own boss. But you just got that responsibility. And I tell you, the other great value of running a business is employing people. And to know that you're helping them, they come to work and they're being got a nice lifestyle by working with you and for you. And people put more into that, knowing that you really care about them. And as we've gone through the years, I used to take on some of our employees, isn't it? Children, and which is wonderful. And now we're taking on their grandchildren, and it's great. You know what I mean? And the more family people you get into the business, it just flows. You know what I mean? Excuse the plug, but
no, I like it. No, brilliant. Your final question or final?
Well, I just want to say, Charlie, that you and I are both ambassadors for Small Business Saturday. We were, and one of the things that I want to do as being, I'm an independent business ambassador per se. I encourage everybody to spend at least 25% of their shopping budget with independent businesses.
Yeah.
So how do you think we can do more of that within communities? Do you think that is by raising awareness of the power we have to put things back into community, or do you think we need to look at other ways of being able to do that? Do we need to raise awareness of if £1 spent in the community with an independent business, it goes back, the value is much higher, and do you think we need to do more in that way to raise that awareness?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a great believer if you can use local people, if you use someone local, and I say, what goes around comes around, and I think, if you're using a plumber that's local to you, and then that plumber, you may be running a tailoring business or something, he's going to come to you. So definitely keep it as local as possible. I think that's important. The second thing I think is important is you know, just working in your local community and giving a little bit back. It helps so many people. Do you know what I mean? You know, we do tours at Pimlico, and anybody can come along, like 10, 20 from a charity or a Princess Trust or a college and that. And they're not all local people, but a lot of them are local. And you know, it's great. And of course, when they come along, they then want to come and work for you. You know, I mean, I had some school kids there from East London, I'm going to say 3 months ago, and they was 9 years of age, right? 9 years of age. And we do them in groups of 20, and they do a 2-hour tour. They look at the workplace. Now, I thought that was a bit young, if I'm being honest, but anyhow, they came along and loved it. And, you know, I said, you know, I have a little question and answers with them, and it's the same questions and answers. How much do you earn? What car do you drive? Which is great. There was a little, and I said, look, when we finished, I said, let's hope that in a few years' time, some of you come back to us and be apprentices, whether it be, you know, in admin, accounts, or plumbers. And one little girl had already worked out how many years and days it'd be. And she went, oh, okay, will it be 7 years, 3 months, and something like that? And I'm thinking to myself, how clever is that? Do you know what I mean? To think that she could work that out. What I'm probably really trying to get at here is if you can get people into your business and see what you do. When we do the tours, especially with the older kids from Princess Trust, we're finding 90% of them have never been in the workplace. And they're fearful of the workplace. So you get them round, they have a look, and all of a sudden they go, blimey, you can laugh and joke at work, you can smoke. They want to be part of it. So I'm not sure what the question was, Tina.
That's a frightening question.
Well,
Bigger that, isn't it, really?
It is, but we need to get back to working with
it's about local, isn't it? But that's the point.
Yeah, keeping it local.
The local business.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, look, it's been absolutely fantastic for us because, as I say, we've got lots of people. It's all about making life better for business owners all around the world, and you certainly do that, Charlie. It's been a real pleasure.
Thank you,
I've enjoyed it, but I've got one burning question on my mind.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to try the famous hat on?
Yeah.
I've been wanting
we'll get a photograph.
I haven't come along
You
to
need to get me a picture. I need to tweet it. I need to send you a Yorkshire flat cap. That's what you need.
Try your one. Actually, I think it looks better on you than me.
And I'll tell you what, Charlie, better than you.
Oh no, just a minute. We've got a stick.
Because we have, for you, the biggest stick of Scarborough Rock, which is where we come from.
That's exactly what I wanted.
And you've got our Indy 25er, which means that you spend at least 25% of your shopping with independent businesses.
Okay, well that's great.
Yeah,
that's
so there
wonderful.
we go. And you've got a little goodie bag to give to the kids when they come and.
Thank you very much.
Chocolate as well, the lot.
That's very cool. Thank you, Ed. And I just want to say thank you for having us on the show, and it's great to be part of it. And have we mentioned my OBE yet?
Oh, and congratulations for the OBE. Did you?
I can't believe it. I mentioned it. We did a pre-record.
And
I'm over the moon about it, as you can see, and I got it for plumbing services, and you know, everything to do with plumbing. So
is that the first time anybody's got it?
I believe so. We've checked out. I thought maybe Crapper might have got. You remember Crapper?
Yeah.
Up to now, people are telling I'm the first plumber. You know what I mean? So probably what I'm saying again to youngsters. You know, that weren't really on the cards or anyone in the workplace, but who knows where it's going to lead to. Yeah. Next time I'm on this thing, it could even be Sir Charles.
Yeah, well, let's hope so.
Yeah,
thank you very much indeed. Absolutely fantastic.
See you later. See you later.
See you
Bye.
I'll just see Charlie out. All right.
Okay, bye, guys.
That was all right.
Genius, mate.
Thank you. Bit of fun.
Genius. It was really good, yeah. So we're not very formal, as you can tell.
Well, that's why it's going mad on the internet, because it's like that all the time. It's chat, isn't it?
Rather than, you know, and it was lovely to get another little plug in for Chloe, and we've done share radio with them, new radio station in Pimlico, and I asked, you know, which I would always ask if I'm bringing it up, can we bring it up? And they brought it up, and we got a lot more dosh come in, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you will.
I hope that people enjoyed it.
They will. No, it's been great. Absolutely fantastic. I loved it. Really, really.
So if you're ever around Pimlico,
yeah, lovely.
Please
have a drink. We have like.
I can close it down now.